Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Bit of a false start this morning. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're messing around with things and you hit the stream button by accident. But wonderful good morning on the first of the month. I hope everyone out there is well and staying warm. Excuse me. A bit chilly here today. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of a frame drop issue going on. I hope you guys are not seeing that. Excuse me, as I cough in your ears. I don't mean to do that. Today, we're just going to do some bibs and bobs. Art-wise, there's a few things I want to work on that kind of fall into the live stream. We have, up until now, been working on a 3D model for the logo for Scuttled, which is the Kraken, and we will continue with that, possibly with this stream. But today I need to work on some odds and ends for some experimental cards for the game. And so I figure I'd put on my artist hat, put on my chain reaction shirt, and get to it. I hope, again, everyone is doing well. Welcome to the stream, and let's kind of get into it. I'm going to show what I'm up to today. We're going to go over here to animate. And as you can see, this is the back of the Scuttled cards. And I know you guys are sick and tired of Scuttled. But trust me, on May 25th, when we launch the Kickstarter, it will be worth going through all this silliness. So one of the things I'm working on right here is some extra cards that we're thinking about adding to the game. The Black Spot, couple of variations of the Shipwreck card as colored cards and as gold cards. We have a Mutiny card here, and these will add some fun to the game, but we have to play test them first. So I have to create the cards, get them ready to go out to the printer, and bring them back in as a small little deck so that we can feed them into one of our prototype decks so we can play it and see what we like. See if we like, for example, the Shipwreck cards. Do we want 8 of them in a game, or do we want like 2 of them in the game? Is it unbalanced? The Shipwreck card is a very interesting card that's different in that it forces a player to discard their hand. And that's a very powerful card, especially if you can play it on somebody who's about to win. So we need to make sure that there's balance to that. So today, the reason I have this little guy here is I'm going to do the Pirate King card. And I got to thinking, you know, the Kraken has been our Pirate King this whole time. The most dangerous card in the game is the Kraken. So let's make him the Pirate King. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take him off of this. Good morning, Travis. How are you doing today? I will be getting that stuff to you that you requested. It's just been a very long week already. I know it's only Tuesday, but my week started last Thursday, I think. Anyway, a lot going on, a lot of things happening, but I will definitely get you the texts that you're looking for, and then you and I will work on art, and specifically the pixel sizes of things that you're going to need for the various bits and bobs. For those of you who are just joining, Breathing Karma, who's in the channel right now, is the person who will be working on our web store, as well as just kind of giving us a presence in the world. And I'm very excited to work with him with this and get this thing launched, and let's see what kind of glorious stories we'll be able to tell once it's done. But for now, today, I want to just kind of work a little bit on this card, and then if we have time, I'm going to go over to the 3D model and we'll continue that. But this is something I just kind of want to get out of the way today. So, moving right along, killing the first 5 minutes of the broadcast, I'm going to take the Shipwreck card, and I'm going to go ahead and save file, save as, and I'm going to save it as the Pirate King card. You know I'm in another window when I light up like a ghost. but we're going to do that, and then I'm going to, well, for now, let's not worry about that. I'm going to just go to the art layer of this card. Where is the art layer? Warrant text. Well, this is going to be king text. So this will be the pirate king text. That's the rule text. And then this will be the king piece of art. And that's the layer I want. And we're going to make that go away. Ooh, no, maybe not. I need that for the bibs and bobs that it has in it. Specifically, this. Alright, cool. So that I can get rid of. And we're going to replace it with this. How is everybody going? Can everybody hear me okay today? I tend to get up here and mumble and just talk to myself. And I know this, watching someone do art is not always the best stream. Oh, that's grunge. We don't need that. Let's see. Where's the art? Logo. That's what I want. Nope. Doggone it. Alright, fine. Boop. We'll just lock everything and we'll go to the logo. Haha! Look what I did. Now for the logo, I know this is broken up into lots of bits. Ooh, maybe not. Alright, so I think, well, mostly, because that gets rid of some of my shadows. So where's the shadows? The things we do in the shadows. Yeah, those are the shadows there. So let's grab, or better yet, let's get rid of everything we don't want. So let's get rid of that outer disk. Let's get rid of these outlines. Let's get rid of the compass. Let's get rid of the jade. I think. What did I just get rid of? Hang on, that's not what I want. Where's the jade? Is that the jade? Doot, 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 doot. Well, I'm doing something to something, but I don't know what it is. Do I have anything? Is that just an empty layer? Aha, there we go. Alright, now I see what we've got going on here. So, let's go ahead and get rid of that. And what is this? You build things and you forget what you did, but these are all the different highlights and things for the pieces that we just got rid of in the background. So, hey Amy, how's it going? The wife and I are at our neighbors working on adulting while listening to your voice while I'm coloring. I have to reread this statement because it's probably the most epic thing I've read. The wife and I are at neighbors working on adulting. Well, I'm coloring. This is the best kind of adulting ever. Hey, I'm going to flip over to my multi-stream here, see if you can... Hey. And... dude, watching art is the best part of Twitch. Yay! It's interesting. Facebook won't pop up on multi-streaming, but that's okay. We're working with that. Alright, so we're just going to kind of... yay, yep. Delete that, and that leaves us with just the Kraken and his glowy eyes. So here's all the parts that make up the back of the card. Oop, we didn't take his glowy eyes. Where did I put his glowy eyes? So, where are his glowy eyes? Okay, there's the logo. I'm going to assume. Nope, that's what I get for assuming. That weren't it. Where did I put the glowy eyes? Nope. Well, it has to be on top of the logo, because otherwise that happens. So, now hide them. Okay, well, if that goes away, and is it way? Oh, it's way up here for some reason over everything else. Okay, we will work with that. What we're going to do is now I'm going to take this glow and we're going to copy it, and just so I probably should have done this from the beginning, but I have so many layers going on excuse me, that I want the glowy eyes to show up over all the grunge and everything I've got generally going. So that's probably why I did it that way. We're going to paste in place, and we're going to do the technical term, Let's zoom in here, make sure I get everything where I want it to be. Woo, in your face, glowy eyes. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. Well, now we need to crown our king. So while we're here, actually, let's go ahead and... yeah, that works for the moment. Did I have a... hang on. Did I have a mask for the glow? I don't think I did. Oh, I did. Well, look at me being all efficient and stuff. Wow! Okay, fine. I'm going to take these, grab those keys, and we'll go in here. Yes, 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 we know you're there. Back out. That's the glow. What's this? Oh, wait. That's a different glow. There we go. I got double glow going on here. Let's insert a layer. Let's go ahead and paste those frames, which are going to be completely not where I want them. But, and this helps me find things. There they are. And we'll just kind of eyeball stuff. There we go. Good enough for what we need, and then we're going to put, I think it's the glow. Yep, there's the glow. We're going to go ahead and stick that underneath that mask. So, when creating masks in anime, and that's what this horrible pink thing is right here, and I can turn that to just line art. You create a layer. I just happen to name them masks, and you can't see me right-clicking and showing anything, but you right-click on the layer, brings up a menu, and that menu will give you a lot of options, one of which is to make this a masking layer. And what that does is it immediately, anything immediately underneath the masking layer gets indented like this. See how layer 5 is not indented, but layer 9 and 11 are indented. And that means that they are under the influence of the mask. So anything I put in here, and I can just grab that and stick it in there, will become under the influence of the mask. And so when I lock everything, bloop, it cuts that glow from over the brow and gives me a nice little highlights and stuff like that. So, and of course now we have double here because I didn't remove them. I'm going to copy this. We're going to come over here to the I am the Pirate King, I am the Pirate King. And we're going to paste him in the center. And that's going to be the start of what we're going to do today. And this is why I chose to do this today over 3D modeling. An hour is not a lot of time to do stuff. So this is kind of a nice short thing to do, and I can, I don't know if I want to shrink him. I could probably get it done in a reasonable amount of time. But we are now going to work on His Majesty's crown. So let's call this the logo, because that is what it is. What is this? This is the Black Fog. Just name things so at least I know what I'm looking at when I get there. And then this is anybody's guess. Is there anything there? I think that's an empty frame. Perfect. Because we're going to call this crown. And we're just going to whip out something here until, excuse me, while I whip this out. What I'm going to do for this crown is I've created its own layer. I'm not going to affect the other layers. And I'm going to use an obnoxious color like this green. And I'm just going to kind of draw out what I think this crown should roughly look like. Right now, I think it's going to be a rather thick crown upon His Majesty's brow. His Majesty the Kraken, you are now out of the game. Yes, let's do that. And I'm just going to freehand this. Normally what I would do when drawing something like this is I would sketch it on paper, scan it into the computer using Photoshop or something, and then bring it in as a background, and then basically I trace. No longer streams solve this issue. A longer stream solve this issue. I have to agree. And if you guys really want a longer stream than 1 hour, let me know in the comments. Share this video with people. Get it out there, because right now, I only have my loyal viewers, such as yourselves, and an hour seems to work for now. But if we want longer streams, I would really like people to let me know. I know Breathing Karma would love a longer stream. I am sure Amy, with her need to hear my calming, soothing voice, which to me sounds very nasally, like I can get in here and give you the radio voice. This is JEFF. All the time. On. Off. Doesn't matter. I am here. Anyway. Silliness. Back to the crown. Alright, so we got a kind of a nice band here. I might put something in the center. Not sure what I want, but I will say that we do need to continue echoing, I think, his spikes on his head. So we're going to add some of those. Let's go ahead and do just so I can get a height out of it. So everything's the same height. And we're going to go out and in and do something like that. Does that work for everyone? Let's go out. And I'm not doing this symmetrical because I kind of like the asymmetry of stuff like this. There's a start. See, is the Pirate King. Let's see what it looks like when I get rid of this line. Do I want to keep that line? Ooh, I like that. That's looking good. Now we're going to have a slightly lower line. So let's steal this one. Because crowns are circular and they do go behind things. So I think, well, let's do that on a different layer in a little bit. Let's go ahead and just get rid of that. Alrighty. I'm liking this. So let's add a little bit of detail here. Let's go from here to the similar spot there. And let's just add a bevel and stuff. Just kind of, he is the Pirate King. He is the Pirate King. Very sharp, pointy crown, Your Majesty. I need a good gold. I have... Let's bring up an old friend. Let's open. I'm going to open a new file, which is why I'm glowing ghost white at the moment. Playing cards. Let's bring up an old friend. Deck art. Let's go to hearts, and I believe, yes, this gentleman will have some gold for us. I have a thing for crowns, can you tell? Yeah, it's the old Suicide King. He was definitely caffeine fueled. And speaking of which, if you want to sponsor me or my art and keep the caffeine art engine fueled and running, you can buy me a cup of coffee at buymeacoffee.com/ Chain reaction. Cheers. It's only a minor coffee, so it's not as big as my normal mug. Okay, so the reason I'm here is one of the things you can do is get in here. I'm going to open everything up, which is going to get weird. Sorry. And I'm going to get in here and grab that crown. And what I want is to grab the colors. Hopefully I can get them by sampling the crown. I've done this gold. I already have some nice shadow colors here. So I'm just going to borrow this gold. I might tweak it, make it a little redder than this. This tends to be a little more of a, almost a greeny gold. But it will do what I, oops, wrong one. We don't need him anymore. And we're going to say, no, we do not want to save that. We want to keep the back of our card. But we are going to come in here and we're going to put the highlight there. Ooh, it didn't give me. Let's do that again. Put the highlight, there we go, there. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this color, but it's a place to start. It's a gradient, and you guys can't see me adjusting it. Wow, I really got to figure out how to fix this. So what I'm doing that you can't see me doing is I'm adding a little more burnt orange into the dark end. I'm going to add a little more, just a tweak more red to the front end. You won't see the changes until I reapply. I'm going to add a little more red to this because I think he deserves just a little bit more reddy. He is pretty red already, so this might blend in. We'll see. But now we're gonna, there we go, just subtleties. I'm all about them subtleties. Let's go ahead and grab this red, and we're gonna use that for this bit right here. So let's see, just turn, yep, that should be good. Okay, let's turn that off, and there we go. So we've got a pretty good start of the crown. I don't know if it needs to be bigger or not. What do you guys think? Should the crown be bigger on his head? Should I make it taller, or at least rise it up a little bit? But I want it to be seen in the card art, so that's the only reason I'm concerned. So you tell me. Oh, when can I come over to help you so you can tell me? I do not know. I'm always on the move, working nights and things like that. Makes life difficult for meeting up. But this rig I'm on is pretty old and needs some love. Let's get a color here. Let's use this color. And I'm going to make the crown its own symbol. So by doing that, see, I have up here all these layers, and these are the different layers inside this symbol, the order upon which they're stacked in, kind of like onion paper, for those of you who remember typing back in the day. I'm going to turn this so that it has its own set of layers, and so I can do things separate so that when I move it, everything moves at once, which is why I put the eyes and everything in here with that mat. So we're going to grab the crown. I'm going to hit F8, which brings up a menu for me. And we're going to call this King Crown, which will make it a little bit different from other crowns that I've made. We're going to say OK. See that little boxes appeared around it, telling me it's now its own symbol. And now I'm going to start working with this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a layer. I've copied the lines that make up the crown. I'm going to paste those in place. And then I'm going to make them thicker. Well, why didn't I just make the ones on the crown thicker? It tends to clog and hide details such as those points. But if it's behind it, those points still stay crisp, and I still get a nice, thick, fat line. And that's the start of this. I think we can go a little bit heavier on that. Properties. Ooh. Wait, what's going on here? Let's grab those. There we go. Properties. There we go. 3. Let's go 6. just kind of match the general. And see, I still get these nice sharp points which would be destroyed if I put those elsewhere. I don't know if this is the right thickness though. So let's grab this. And this is all trial and error. Just get in here. Most art is very trial and error. Just I'm going to have to think about this. But for now, this crown is boring. So let's lock this down for the moment. Let's make this crown. I'm just naming my layers within the crown. And we're going to go outline. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to insert a layer. And I think he needs a skull up here. Now I could reuse a skull, which is, you know, easy enough. I've got tons of skulls laying around. Or I can just make a silly, simple one, which I think we're going to do. And how am I going to do that? Well, I'm glad you guys asked me. I'm going to make it so that it doesn't fill in what I draw next. And I'm going to use a horrible, horrible color. And we are definitely not going to stick with the 4. So let's change that back to a 1. Just as an easier thing to work with. And let's see how big we can make this. Let me show you how simple it is to make a stylized skull. Nothing else, you guys. Will leave here today with that information. Okay, so we know the middle is roughly there. It doesn't have to be perfect of this circle. So I'm going to draw a line through there. Now, since this is a crown, it's kind of curved. I'm going to kind of give it a bit of a curve. Does not look much like a skull, does it? But wait, there's more. If I do that, oops, let's do a little closer in, and I do that, hey, we got something going on here. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. Now I'm going to draw that. See, I'm just using circles. Everything, and I think I've said this in a previous live stream, everything can be broken down. Let's see, this is the one I want, yeah, into shapes. So we have some circles for these eyes. We're going to draw a triangle. Oops, not there. We're just going to draw a triangle. I kind of do the Star Trek thing. A skull. Okay, anyway. And then we can draw some teeth in here. Hey, look, we did a skull. We did ask for longer. 2 hours? Do you think people would be interested in... I know, like, Twitch and even YouTube, when it comes to the live streams, I know they like a much longer format. Facebook, which is my primary right now, not so much. But let's see, if the people want longer streams, I'm not opposed to doing that. So let me get rid of these teeth here. Let's be a little more artsy. Hang on. People ask for a longer stream. Alright, so let's back up here. I am the Pirate King. I am the Pirate King. It's too happy of a skull. And see how I did? I just drew a line through a circle. Boink! Now we have angry skull. Drawing a skull is really that simple. It's kind of stylized. And it seems to be something unique to me. I had a friend I was doing this. He goes, "Oh yeah, I forget that's how you draw your skulls." And not all the time, but he liked them. So, all right. Now I can play around with this even more because I am in a vector program. I can grab centers, play around with it a little bit, and you can do the same thing. You can do this with pencil. I have the advantage of working with Bezier. Beziers, just Beziers. I'm still not happy with that. And here, a little bit better. And dink. Why do I have the Muppet Show theme running through my head while I do this? Alright, so this is a crown, so it needs to be fancy. So I'm going to put some places for why not? Oh, 2 hours, huh? You guys want to go to noon? Okay, let's turn this just a little bit. Try to match the curvature of the crown. And then I'm going to copy and go to Modify, Transform, Flip Horizontal. You guys can't see my menu, so I'm calling it out for you. And then let's just a little bit bring it in. That's a little too much of a curve for him, which tells me definitely not symmetrical today. Let's go to the document. Let's turn off our snaps temporarily, because that is a bad thing to forget to turn back on. Let me tell you, I don't need that one, but I do need this one. Alright, so that gives me some places, puts like gems or something. And of course it's a pirate, so he's going to have lots of them. So we're going to put some behind the crown. In order to do that, we're just going to kind of go a little bit smaller. So they kind of protrude out like they're going around the brim of the crown here. And going back to copy, and let's go ahead and flip this one, because I don't need to actually flip this horizontally. It's kind of a waste of effort. And I will make it just a tad smaller on this side. This is not a symmetrical crown. Alright. I'm going to hide my outline. Oh, did I? Haha, I did. Back over there. Somehow managed to not actually copy it, but rather moved it. So we're going to make this smaller and snap that in there. Just enough to show that there are gems on the other side. Now, we're going to hide this. And I'm going to be supposedly clever. We'll see. Grab these. Oops. I said grab these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use these lines to cut those circles. And so now we're going to lock the. Oops. Going to lock this layer. And we're going to go paste in place those lines. And hey, there they go. I can delete that. Delete that. That's not quite what I want, but you know what? We'll work with it. So, there we are. Now I'm going to hide it, and so I want to get rid of this line, and just try to be a little more efficient, and cool. Let's go back over here to our King of Hearts, who has these lovely little colors that we can play with later. But I'm just going to experiment with red. I can make these blue, which, you know, I probably should since that's my favorite color. And we're going to put some red gemstones in here. And actually, this will not have that red. It will have just this color right here because it's on the back side. Done this a couple of times, can you tell? Hey, what's going on? All right, I don't know the Scream name. Inari Seiko. I don't know everybody's Scream names. I really need to start learning everybody's Scream names. But how are you doing today? I'm in here doing silliness. Let's see what we got going on here. We have a skull. Well, we know the skull needs to be dark and brooding. Ah! Chantel. Did I say it right? I promise you I tried to get it right this time. Don't recognize everyone. Oh, D&D character. That's a, the chat is starting to go behind my camera. I was like, can't read it. There it is. Now everything's good. All right, Chantel. Nice to see you in here. Travis and Chantel. I've got Lori and Amy. I've got, who else do I have in here? Well, that's all who's been writing me so far. So welcome everybody, my 3 loyal viewers right at the moment. And apparently y'all want a 2-hour stream. Pretty soon it'll be a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. I caught them making that reference in Star Trek Discovery. Like, I think it was the last episode of the season. And the very stern guy with the glasses and the gray hair was commenting about pretty soon all the diplomats will want a 3-hour tour in the outer reaches. And one of the other characters was like, what? And he goes, it's just a turn of phrase. I was like, oh, that was funny. He made a Gilligan joke in Star Trek, which apparently means Gilligan's Island is canon in the I guess at that point it's 26th century? Because they're in the future, 900 years. 25th? No, it's got to be 26th century. Anyway, moving on, not important to what we're doing. We have a skull on a crown to try to make it look cool for the king here. So I'm not sold on some of this. So let's grab this guy, pull him in. This guy's not making me happy. And if it doesn't make me happy, it's not going to stay on here. Go ahead and make him big again. Now I just turn that snap off. It's giving me issues. I hate it when that happens, but it's a thing. What is everyone up to today? I know we have somebody coloring. I think Travis is working today. Chantel is watching the babies and having a glorious time being a mother. I know Lori's at work. Anyone doing anything fun and exciting that's different than that? All right. I like that better. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Let's try that again. Dink. There we go. And let's copy this one over to here. I just need it to stick out just a little bit. But I didn't like the way the curvature was working on the previous one. Alrighty. Let's go back to the crown. Let's grab this line and this line. Whoop. And let's turn that off. That's annoying. I am paying bills. Then I will get a bed to a 17-month-old and play video games while I watch you. That sounds like a plan. This is a good day right there. Alright, so let's Control C that. Let's copy that bad boy. We're going to come up here. I'm going to paste in place. And I'm going to say, hey, you want to be this awful green color just so I can track you. And we're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go ahead and get this back. And put it there. That looks better. I like that better. Let's go over here to the king. And I did that all in black. Not a huge fan of that. So we're going to like this dark color right here. And for at least these pieces, and I might go ahead and go back to the brown for these. We're going to say, hey, wouldn't you like to be this color? Then we're going to grab this one. We're going to go say, hey, you want to be that color. And that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Do you want to build a snowman? No, I want to build a crown. Alright, let's try that again. Let's use this color though. Just see what happens. Alright, that seems to work a little bit better. Alrighty. Back to the skull. Well, we know skulls are, mean things sometimes. So, I'm going to grab my shadow colors here. I've got a nice dark one right there that I want to grab. And we're going to just fill those spots there. Then I think the skull itself needs to be a variation of that color. Oops. Needs to be a variation of this color, but darker. So let's drop the saturation a little bit. You can't see any of the menus I'm looking at. That really... I haven't figured out how to fix it. Every time I try, it breaks my camera. Alright. So there's our skull. And we just have a really good skull color right here. Hey, look at that. A skull. So let's grab... Is that... Okay, I can grab that color. Cool. Well, let's just start to see if we like this. Very rough. Let's back out to the whole scene here. I am the Pirate King. I mean, it's a lot of work for something that's not going to really be seen that much. But I want it back there. I might even put the jade circle behind him again. Change it out, though. So, no, this is not the shipwreck card. It will be the Pirate King card. The Pirate King card is a card that you can only ever play as your last card. You can never play it any other time. And, oh, good morning. If the person before you plays like a Davy Jones's locker, which skips your turn, or something akin to that, we'll work out the fine details here, you can still take your turn. The Pirate King cannot be skipped. You will always be able to play the Pirate King unless someone switches your hands or does something other. But if they try to skip your turn, you still get to play the Pirate King. That's why it's a fun little card. And what I'm doing right now is I am looking up in my notes on my phone. Ta-da, phone. It's really funny. The camera's pointing that way. So you think but no, it's over here. And it's not because it's backwards or anything, it's just odd. Alrighty. I need my productivity tools. And I write these things down. So, gold card, Pirate King, can only be played if it is your last card. Can be played even if you are sent to Davy Jones's, which is what I just described. So what I'm going to do now, this is the rule text, is I'm going to see how much room behind this card after I lay down the rule text we can see, and it'll determine whether or not I scale the Kraken in the background up or down. So we need to get in here and doop, grab all this. Obnoxious, isn't it? And just kind of, and this is how I lay out cards, or this at least is my process. Alright, so let's say can, and let's do a asterisk only be played as And then can be played even if you are sent to Davy Jones. That's going to be interesting. That's a better way to word that. I say. How about, let's see. Can be played even if turn is skipped. It's two P's. That didn't look like a P. All right. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. Can only be played as your last card, even if your turn is skipped. How about that? Let's do that. So instead of a period, let's get rid of that verbiage there. And we can afford your now. Turn is skipped. I'm going to go tink. And let's see, can I do that? Is that going to look good? Nope. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh, ooh. Vored. Hey, Nick. How you doing? Thank you for joining. We are working on some card art for a game called Scuttled, for those of you who are watching after the broadcast. And we might go for 2 hours today. We'll see how we are all feeling. Man, text is always difficult. There are people whose whole jobs is to just do layout in books, and it is an art form. I am not gonna lie, this is not my wheelhouse. Even if your turn is skipped, I think that might fit better. I'm also looking on how well it's going to read inside this hex. So excellent. Thank you for coming by, each and every one of you, and hanging out here as I fuddle through all this stuff. Alright, I can only be played as your last card, even if your turn is skipped. I mean, that kind of works for me. Does that read well to the rest of you? We are coming up on the last 10 minutes of a normal stream. I'm going to assume we're going for another hour. Everyone raise their hand. All right. Let's lock that down. Let's go ahead and go to the King text. This card is called the Pirate King. And I want to make sure I can get Pirate King in here. So we are now dealing with this. Now this, I believe, are not... Or was I smart? I'm never that smart. Why do I have a layer within a layer? Yeah, I wasn't that smart. Okay, we're gonna go for a 2-hour stream. This is my first one. Be gentle. And we are going to grab bibs and bobs so that I know what's what. And then we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of all of this. Fortunately, I know what the text font is. At least I think I do. Oh, but wait, let's get the color right. So that's why we keep this around. That's right. Get that color. Alright. Text, and then I think it is Captain Jack. Dink. And properties. Take a 5, get water. Alright. Oh, I need water? How was that for a drinking sound? All right, so let's see. Right now I'm using that font. Let's go to all the way at the top because, you know, all the fonts I use are literally at the opposite end of my menus. And let's see. Buccaneer. That's not the one. We want... Where is it? Captain Kidd. There we go. So now we're going to go... Yeah, that's... We're going to do these words separately because the kerning is really horrible on this particular font. But, you know, it's okay. We can work with it. I am the Pirate King. I am the Pirate King. And that will fit just barely, but not bad. I'm probably going to take this and shrink it just a wee bit. There we go. Just enough. And now I can get rid of... Actually, I want to use that for reference. So let's grab this. Oops. Did I turn that off? Or did I forget to turn it back on, should I say? There we go. So what I want to do is I want to use these letters for kind of size. And I'm going to drag them up here because I think, yeah, actually, you know, that's not going to be too bad. I might have to exaggerate their height, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to exaggerate the height a little bit. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And grab these guys. And I'm going to just drag them down just a little bit. Kind of makes them a little more comical when you do that. They don't need too much. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these up. So those are the individual letters. I can still type new letters if I wanted, but now I'm going to turn these into fill. F-I-L-L. And this way I can play around and do some different things like... Actually, let's go make sure I get the right thing here. Alright, so remember what I was talking about with the crown? I wanted to put the lines behind so that I won't lose detail and things. Here's an example. This line right here is pretty thick, and right now I'm going to tell this to basically outline all the letters with all its little odds and ends. And, you know, that's horrible. I lose everything when I do that. But if I go ahead and select all of this and then I deselect the gold areas, I should get most of that. Deselect all of this stuff here. And I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to come down here to this layer, paste in place, and look, I still have all my detail in my letters. Now, this one, what is this guy set at? And go to V, and this is, what is this? This is the 12. Okay. So, I already have those letters copied. I'm just going to come down to this. I'm going to paste in place. I'm going to say be this color. And I want this to be, instead of 6, 12. And I get rid of these. And there is the first part of our card name, which is not bad. It's not great. Let's play around with it just a little bit. Really tight areas in here, so I'm going to actually turn these off so that I can not be snapping to things I don't want to snap to. And not that much. That's way too much. There we go. I think that works. So now we're going to make a copy of all of this and turn it upside down and try to mimic the placement. It's not going to be perfect. It's a card game. No one's going to really notice if things are not 100% symmetrical. Alrighty, so I'm now going to save this file. Save. Save often, boys and girls. I was not saving often enough. Alright, so I think I can afford the artwork in the background to be a little bigger. So we're going to make sure everything's locked. Grab, is that it? I guess that's it. We're going to make it just a little, because this is the Pirate King. This is the back of our card. This is the guy. All right, let's lock that. See how that looks. Yeah, I think that's going to work. We are going to have to do some work on the crown. Fancy it up a little bit, but because of the way I'm using the art here, I don't need as much detail because it really doesn't show up that well. We've got a nice gradient going from here to here, so we got light to dark. I don't think I need to run shadows in here. Heck, that frickin' skull I spent all that time on, it's not even going to be in there. It's a good thing I used the simple skull. But yeah, let's move him around. I've already set the tone for the artwork in these cards. In fact, I need to redo the warrant card. It kind of breaks the rules on how these cards look. But let's see, now that's centered-ish there. All right. What do you guys think? Save that out. And I'll take that 5-minute water break. Well, 5-second water break. I work obsessively like this for hours on end. Sometimes when I'm doing art, especially if I'm doing 3D modeling or texturing, it is so sweet. I just want to make sure everything is legible. The word only is a little lost in there. So maybe I can move that card text around a little, or I mean the rule text around just a little bit. Just, there we can see a little more of the king. Hail to the king, baby. See, that would put it centered, would be about there on the card. Is this where it needs to be? All right, so here's a card. Oh, I got an emoji. It's my first. Vor.red. Nick, what does that mean? I do not know what that means. Hang on a second. I just heard the doorbell. Give me just a second. I guess it wasn't that important because I didn't see anyone out the window. I'm expecting a shipment of t-shirts. That's why I wanted to go check, because as you can see coming up, over here will be Phoenix Fan Fusion on May 27th, 28th, and 29th. I will have a booth there. We will also be showing Scuttled, as well as selling t-shirts of some of my artwork. And so I'm waiting for a shipment of those to come in so that you can buy them at the Phoenix Convention Center on May 27th through the 29th this year. Hopefully it'll go well. So sorry about the delay. I was like, ooh, maybe that's the t-shirts, but yeah, there's no one down there, so oh well. Ring and run, you know? Back to what we were doing. I think the Pirate King is in a good position. I don't think I need to work on the crown anymore because we're really not going to see that much of it. That's why I wanted to get in here and do all this text before I could start going nuts drawing crowns and stuff like that. So let's go File, Save, and then I'm going, you're not going to be able to see this. I wish I could show this part off. I'm going to export this image so that I can send all this stuff off to the printer so I can get one experimental deck put together, sent to me, so that I can start play testing with these new cards and see what I like and what I don't like. It takes so long just to get to the export part. Alright, let's save. And you are going to go into the Scuttled folder, not the Silly Macabre. We were just visiting the Silly Macabre folder. Where was I putting the rest of those cards? Prints, flash games, old files. Uh-oh. Where did I put them? Did I put them here? Oh, hang on. I've got to go check that. Be right back. Technical difficulties indeed. Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out because maybe I put it under ads. I'm trying to remember where I exported this piece of art. I am so disorganized. It's not under button designs. By the way, speaking of button designs, and I might be able to bring it up here. I put them here. Cool. For the Kickstarter, we are going to offer a kind of a special little thing. I want to run it by you guys who are on here and see whether or not you like this. If you get like a box of cards, I haven't figured out what the deal is. I'm making special Scuttled t-shirts that have the Kraken logo on the shirt, and it'll say, I supported Scuttled 2022. And that way if we run another Kickstarter or something, different shirts with different years. But what do you guys think about that? Artists are generally disorganized. Join the club, right? Well, I found what I was looking for, so yes. Okay, that's all done. Yay. And again, I'm sorry for the interruption. It's a good thing because we're now 5 minutes into hour 2. I took away from you. I have the black spot. I do need to change a few things here. My way of getting around my printer and his OCD is to get rid of, see, I normally send him these nice clean cards with lots of borders and just, cut here, but he freaks out. So excited. Yes, I'm very excited about the Kickstarter too. Tell all your friends. We are going to try to raise, I think it was $20,000. And that's more than enough for a 1,000 deck run, or more for that matter. Shipping, which is going to be really expensive. This deck is 3 times the weight, or 4 times the weight, of the Silly Macabre deck that I did. So I'm expecting shipping to be extremely high on this. Plus, there's the percentages that everyone takes. Kickstarter takes 5%. Amazon, I believe, is who they use to collect credit card funds from, takes 5%. So I have to add 10% right there into whatever it is I'm trying to raise. I get a couple of bucks out of this, just time and effort, so that I can invest it in new microphones. The computer that you're seeing me on right now is 10 years old. Absolutely 10 years old. The graphics card is about the only thing that's ever been updated on this machine from a hardware standpoint. It has a bunch of external drives which are in the terabyte ranges, but the hardware, other than the graphics card, is 10 years old, or thereabouts. So it would be nice to be able to upgrade my rig and do some other things for more games in the future. So we're trying to come up with some rewards, and I'm hoping the t-shirt is going to be an incentive to add a little extra to the kitty. But we are trying to raise a stupid amount of money, unfortunately, and I'm not holding my breath. Hasn't exploded? Yeah, me too. It's persnickety. That's the word I'm going to use. It's persnickety. It's just not a happy camper. So anyway, I am going to hide this, and then there are bibs and bobs I need to grab. Oh, that's not the warrant. That's the sport. Because that's wow, yay caps lock. So yeah, if you guys hold your breath, it's an amazing game, and it will go viral. I'm hoping it will too. I hope to be able to say I can pay off my car from whatever happens with this, but I'm not really expecting that. The margins on profit are so slim on stuff like this, but man, I really love doing this kind of thing, and I love watching people play this game. And just when I did not reinvent the wheel. The whole system is the Spanish game of one, but that is because they're the ones who popularized the game, the card shedding game. Crazy Eights and other games along those is where just where you have to get rid. It's old as cards, so I'm not worried about that. But when people realize, oh, it's not that game, there's a variation, and there are other cards that, such as the black spot, you can never play this card. If it is in your hand, you cannot win. Well, how do you get rid of the card? There are so many ways to get rid of your hand. There's squalls, which cause everybody to change hands, so you now give this card to someone else. There's stuck with a tab, where someone takes cards from your hand, they might grab that card. It's an evil card, so that's why there's ever going to be just one. There was no if and but ors. Only one. It's a gold card. It can be played at any time on anything, but in this case, it can't be played. You have to pray for a kraken, a squall, stuck with a tab, anything to get rid of this card, because you cannot win with this card, because it's the black spot. It's the pirate thing. And this may or may not be a fun card to have. We're going to see. This is grunge, so we're going to lock that. I'm looking for some very specific things, and I'm being lazy and doing it like this. And so clearly the last one I grab is the one I want. Well, of course, why would I keep grabbing, right? Dink. Okay, now there's another one in here I need to grab. That is the background. Huh. Alright. Maybe it's up here. There are... What is that? Alright, so unlock everything. Oh, okay, it's something that doesn't need to be... Okay, cool. Alrighty, so black spot is tweaked, and we're going to save this bad boy out, and we're going to go ahead and export this one as an image and replace the one that I've already done. Oh, interesting. Cancel. It decided to ignore me and say, no, the mask is really there. No, there's no reason for you to worry about the mask. Okay. Why did you do that? Don't do that. File. Export. Now I gotta go through and look at all my art now because this program just messed with me. See, it did it again. See if there's a button I can push that'll fix this. No. Well, I know how to fix it. I just don't want to do that to fix it. Alright. What is this? That's that. Alright. Well, I'm going to grab this background plate. See? And we're going to come up here to this little guy right here. We're going to place in the center, and then we're going to turn it this obnoxious pink so we know what it is. Because why not? Okay, that's the effect I want. File, save, file, export. And so you guys couldn't see any of the problems I was seeing. But you remember how this was all clean and everything? And that's the way it was trying to export the image. I'm like, no, that's not what I want. So now it's what I want. Now I gotta go check. Now I'm all freaked out. Alright, oops, went too far. My face is lit up, letting you know that is your signal that I am in a menu screen. There's phone cases, playing cards. There we go. Scuttled, and then I had it in. Oh, I just like a silly person. I forgot what folder I put everything in. There we go. And this is just confirm the black spot and save, because, you know, why not? Alrighty, that's done. So that's done. The mutiny, I'm not happy with the mutiny cards, but they're okay. Why does that shift? Oh, I know why it shifts. That's not a big deal. And so we're all good here, and then our friend the King of Hearts can go away. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, and no one needs to be saved. So the last thing I have to do is we have file open. Did I close the shipwreck? Boy, this thing just wants to go there. Does not want. Flash files. There we go. Shipwreck. Gold. Where's the gold shipwreck? Here it is. Okay, so there's the gold shipwreck card. Oh, it's because we turned it into the Pirate King card. So this one looks good. I don't think I need to export that one. So I just wanted to make sure it was tweaked. So we have this card as a gold card. Gold cards are wild cards and can be played on any color. Real simple concept. The thought for gameplay balance with this particular card is, should there only be 2 in the deck, which, by the way, the current card count on the deck is, with the captain's card, which is direction of play, it's 126 cards. Yes, or 126 cards. We can go up to 132 cards for the same price. So we're leaving cards on the table. Don't have to use them, but they're there. So this is 2 cards. Or do we go with 2 of each color, choose not to include other cards, and have 8 of these in the deck, but they can only be played on specific colors? That's the experiment here. I think I know the answer, but we have to do our due diligence. And so I have colored versions of the shipwreck card. And this one's driving me crazy because I think this outer edge is going to drive the printer out of his fuzzy little mind. Don't know. We're going to give it a whirl though. So what I'm going to do, and I've already set this up, I have color bands for each of the color of the cards, and then I have a background band, which is actually the reverse. Is it the reverse? There it is. I have a background band here just for the bleed, so that if the dies that cut the cards move or shift a little bit, there's still some color out here. That's the thought. We're going to stick with it. So these I think are set up, and all I have to do is export the relevant colors. So in this case, File, export the red into hopefully the same spot. Please don't do what the other one did. Yay. I think this is going to drive that guy crazy, but okay. And we're going to go shipwreck red. We're going to save that one out. And then I thought ahead, and work smarter, not harder, is the general theme here. I went ahead and I really should rearrange this because I'm not happy with it, but I knew that I was going to be working with the numbered cards, which are going to be the same number 4 times, 4 colors, 10 numbers. I don't want to have, that many. I don't want to have 40 separate files sitting around in my folder, even though I have 14 terabytes sitting here, 12 terabytes sitting here. I just, no. So what I did is I did this plate thing. So I've done the red card. I'm now going to go ahead and hide that, bring out the purple plate, and I know it doesn't look very good right now, but give me a second. I'm going to hide the red and bring out the purple plate here. I'm going to grab the shipwreck word. Oh, first things first. Let's grab a color. Let's grab... Do I want a dark? I want a light. Let's grab that corner right there. That's a good color. So now, open all this up. Now the only thing I have to do, oops, wrong thing, is one, get the right thing. So what do I grabbed? I grabbed whatever that is. Well, I know, actually, I can lock all this down. Card numbers. Yes. And grab this. Say you are now this color. And come back to the scene. There I go. I have my shipwreck card. We're going to go make sure this is where I want it. Let's lock everything. Let's go File, Export, and let's do the purple. I do hope this process is interesting. I know there are times it's going to be like watching paint dry. So here's a purple already. Just want to make sure I get everything in there. So now I've done the purple, and just go down and do the other colors. I have a blue. So let's hide the purple, let's show the blue, or bleh, as we call it. And I do have other colors in here, as you can see, as I have plans for expansions. I mean, you're only as good as the last thing you did, so plan on expanding. If we are wildly successful, because printing decks of cards, unfortunately, is not cheap. But if we are wildly successful, we have ability to create another deck with 4 separate colors, and then you can play massive games with 8 colors. Now, right now the game supports 8 players, maybe. Haven't had anything over 7, so I don't know, but it does. It's interesting. The game plays so much differently with more people. A 3-player game, which is the minimum number to play this game, is vicious. Absolutely vicious. And if you have a friend who's a card counter, me. Then you get into the 4 and the 5 player games, which I think for me, 5 player is the sweet spot for my game. But it can go up to 8 players. Well, if you add another deck, which doubles the card count, doubles the colors, and doubles all the wild cards, including the Kraken, that means there's 2 Krakens in the deck. You might have to only take it to 1 Kraken, I'm not sure. But that makes for a massive game. The other thought behind it is that if we're wildly successful, you can choose which of the colors you want in your deck. Just thoughts here. Alright, so let's grab this color right here. Let's go back to... There's a lot of up and down here. This is why I didn't think this through very well. And grab you, and you are now this color. Dink, dink. Lock it down. And we're going to export this. Now, either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to send this out to the printer. Fingers crossed. And we will have a test deck to see if we're going to go gold cards, which is what I think, honestly, I'm personally leaning to only having 2 of this kind of card in the hand, but can be played at, on any color, versus 2 of each card, or even 1 of each card, and can only be played on a specific color. Not sure. Alright, so we just have look left. We did red, purple, blue. So actually, while I'm here, I already know the color I'm going to use. So let's just black. Make that easy. It's the easiest one to do. Black is black. Ivar is Ivar. Okay, let's come down to here. Just use the color plan of black. Let's grab the black background, which should be the last one. Yes, it is. Oops, something else is blue is ahead of it. Wait. Blue. There we go. And now black. Yes. Alrighty. And then we're going to go File, Export. Image. I know, this is exciting, riveting stuff. But I enjoy it. I mean, it is definitely a personal exploration. Boy, that's really light. Not sure how I feel about that. That's really light. But, oh well. It is there simply to kind of get the point across. Alright, so, and then we'll go ahead and save. So the last time we touched this was black. Now those cards are done. And I would actually go through the process of how I put these in for the printer, which is just basically drag and drop into their little menu system. And then you send the order out. And we now have a set of experimental cards. And we're only halfway through the second hour. 2 hours, huh? Is this holding up for you guys? I mean, I've got 4 viewers today who have hung in there diligently. Thank you very much. For those of you who have gotten this far in the stream, thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me. Just thank you. Unfortunately, I am fueled by caffeine. And if you really want to help fuel my caffeine art engine, you can buy me a cup of coffee. You can do that at buymeacupofcoffee.com/chainreaction. Every little bit helps, and we've already talked about my 10-year-old computer. Be nice to be able to replace it. So if you like to support me, like, follow, give me a thumbs up, whatever platform you're on, because I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook simultaneously. Every little bit helps. I mean, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing other things for the money, i.e. selling decks of cards, t-shirts, art prints, canvas, buttons, keychains, stuff. But every little bit helps. And Your donations will help me improve my equipment, will improve my sound, improve the general quality of these streams. And if we're going to start doing 2-hour streams, I definitely think I want to do some different stuff where I have a second camera, because I would like to sketch, do some pencil sketching. And I'll need another camera so that I can flip between the two so you can see what I'm doing and what I'm drawing, not just this digital stuff. See me draw it, I can scan it, go digital, we can flip between all the different things. And I think that would be a much more interesting stream in the long run. But we now have a half hour. We're done with this. So I guess that means I need to fire up 3D Studio Max as promised. So I'm going to come back over here to the big screen. Hi everybody. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and we're going to fire up Max. That takes a moment on this machine. It is not a happy puppy. I had a friend of mine, Todd, build this machine for me many years ago, and at the time I was doing video games. And I told him to build a machine that we were working on, so it was pretty future-proofed at the time. And it still is. I mean, the fact that this is still running as well as it's running and still doing what I need it to do all these years later is a testament to how far forward we thought in terms of building this box and how well he put it together for me. So Todd Ellering, thank you very much. It wasn't his job to build me a computer, but by God, he built me a great one. Alright, I am now back, just loading up the file. Hey! Alrighty, let us move over to 3D Studio Max. Somebody forgot to load the software. And this is where we left off. I was not happy with the mesh smooth version of a lot of this. This was sloppy in my opinion, and so I wanted to build it a little more true to spec so that it felt right. And I think, just looking at what I'm seeing here, I need to cut another line of refinement around this eye, this brow. But I'm not going to mess with that right now. I think what I was trying to do horribly was do these plates on the forehead. And I don't think I succeeded in what I was after. So, I think we had a crash as I was trying to clean up the model. So we're going to try that again. We're just going to clean up the model a little bit. There's some vertices that bother me. So we're going to target weld these vertices. I'm going to take this one and put him here. That's awesome. That's not the line I want, but we'll work with it for now. And I think that's the only real stray one other than this one. So let's do that. It gives me some triangles. I'm not happy with triangles. I think that's why I didn't. So let's back that up. So that gives me 4. That's a triangle, and that's just a problem. Alrighty. So let's do this a little bit differently. Let's weld this one to here. That gets rid of that triangle. I think to do what I want to do, I think I want to cut these squares. I know these are triangles at the moment, but can only do so much. So I'm going to go edges, and we're going to use the cut, and I'm going to go from here to there for the moment. I'm going to go from here to here, and then with any luck to there. Go back to verts. Yes, we got some verts. So the object is to try not to have too many triangles or too many points coming to, like this is probably going to end up ultimately getting rebuilt because we have all these faces coming to a single point, which can be an issue when we're using mesh smooth and doing other things. But this is going to be a static logo, so the constraints on what I can and cannot do are going to be a little bit different. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not good. Not bad, but not good. So I'm going to have to come up with a solution. So now I need to, I think I'm going to hide that. I'm going to remove, ooh, no, stop it, wrong thing. Here we go. I'm going to grab this guy and we're going to remove him just so things are a little cleaner. And if you guys have questions about what I'm doing, please feel free to chime in. We've only got about half an hour. There's not a lot I can get done on this model in a half an hour, but we'll give it a whirl. Excuse me. I am curious, so I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to throw a mesh smooth on here, and we're going to bump it up to 3, and we are going to say smoothing groups only. We only have a couple of smoothing groups in here. That's interesting. Didn't realize those guys became their own smoothing group. It's a very interesting effect, but not what I want. So what are you? You are 1. You are not a part of anything. So let's put you a part of that. And let's put you a part of that. And okay. And you can kind of see the issues with that triangle right there with his 5 points. See how that's muddying that up. I mean, it's not a big deal when I render it, but I'm getting some weird puckering. We don't want puckering. We want everyone to get along. So why do I have puckering? It tells me there is something off. Let's show the cage. Why is that doing that? That's interesting. Perhaps I have 2 vertices there that need to be welded. So let's just grab and see what it says. Nope, that is vertex number 66. This is vertex 14. And that is 14. Okay, what's going on here? I've got some unusual activity going on here. Maybe that's because of that edge that I hid actually is causing more of an issue than I want it to. So we're going to delete that and see if that changes anything. Probably doesn't. Now I'm going to use my bridge tool to recreate that face just to see. I don't know if it's going to fix it or not, but just to see. Wow, that's special. Alright. Really wants me to have a hole there, I'm thinking. And let's give you a smoothing. There we go. Do we have a pucker? No more pucker. So, it was that edge. Welcome to the wonderful world of 3D modeling where everything will go wrong and drive you crazy as you try to troubleshoot it. This is a result. I know what's causing this right here. That's acceptable at the moment. But that pucker, that was going to give me some issues. So let's grab that. That's also too flat. So let's grab this bad boy and just bring him out just a little bit. Because that was just too flat. Probably could bring it out a little bit more. Oops. Bring it out there. It's all about massaging. There are people who are really fast at doing this. They would have had this finished by now. But I am happier with this eye now that I've rebuilt it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and continue with that process and just refine this. This is going to take me a while because, one, I only get to work on it during these live streams. I mean, I've been meaning to work on it behind the scenes, but I just haven't had the chance with what's going on right now. I'm doing other projects and doing other things. So I'm looking to see if I can sneak in. I think I can. Alright, so let's play around with something here. Let's go to the edges again. Let's grab that cut tool. I'm going to go from here to here and just kind of work my way around this eyebrow or brow ridge. And I really need some of my tools. Would not have had to have stopped if I had my space pilot. TM. My 3D Connects. It's if you guys do any 3D modeling, it is a nice tool to have. Alright, this is going to get interesting, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to this. I know that's going to give me two triangles. Perhaps I could just cut to there and fix that. Let's do that. So let me entertain you. No, let's remove the cut and let's delete edge bridge. I'm just using bridge because it's quick. There to there. There to there. Not perfect, but I think it will work. Now I'm going to grab all of this since it's already selected. I'm just going to, pull it forward a little bit. Whoa! What if I got turned on? None. Why are we not moving the way I want you to move? None. Alright. See if it does that again. Nope, it was just being persnickety, and I think that's my computer, not the software, so you can see. Alright, I like that. Ooh. No, I don't. What's going on here? I think... Okay, let's do this. Let's trick it. Whoops. Whoops. Hey. Do as I tell you, not as I do. And then I'm going to... Let's see, what's the easiest way to do this? Front... Get the vertices? Nope. So let's deselect you and do that just a little bit. Now, hopefully, when I do a mesh smooth, there'll be even more refinement, and I'm probably going to end up taking this point right here, pulling it back so it's nice and smooth. Don't think this program will help with 3D models I have made, since my 3D models are of the human variety. Well, I have made humans in this program. I have made cartoon characters. It's been a long time, and usually they're lower poly models. When I was doing video game development, this was the program I used. I didn't use Maya, I didn't use Blender. In fact, Blender used to be called Rhino, I think. Maybe I'm getting the two mixed up. 3D Studio Max was the best bang for the buck at the time, and I still think it is. Maya has different modeling tools. Well, would that be 3D modeling or would that be 3D printing? That's a good, genetic printing and then biological. It's an interesting thought, but haha. I have done many things with this program. Unfortunately, it's been so long, I'm actually trying to remember all my little tricks and tips. Alright, I'm going to throw another mesh smooth on here just to see what that looks like. I probably should quit taking it off. But I just want to see, there we go. That's giving me that look I want. Alright, we're getting there. Let's save this. I know my auto backup is on. I have this set to 20 levels of auto backup, so every 5 minutes we're good. I make the models and then spend 9 months building printing. Yeah, it's the printing part that takes forever. Did we just compare motherhood, pregnancy to 3D printing. Oh, I'm going to a special place. Okay, I'm going to try to work on this cheekbone just a little bit here. Turn that off. See what I can get out of this. I think I can do this. I don't think I have to do too much. I'm going to use edge. And I'm going to move this up. And I'm going to try to put an angle. Nope, that is not going to work. I don't think. I'm trying to use with what I can. Well, maybe. Hey, sort of. Not quite what I had in mind. All right, hang on. This might have something here. This might have some legs. Okay, that's the nose. We know we need that. So, see how that's gonna lay. That's not too horrible. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. I'm gonna push and pull and prod until I get something that I like. All right, yeah. It's probably gonna be the worst idea yet, but here we go. I am going to cut from here to there and hope that wasn't a mistake. And then I'm going to, that's a try. So let's go from here to here to here. I know that's not quite what I want, but I think it's more in the ballpark of what I want. Nope, nope, back over here. Let's try that again. There we go. Let's do a move tool. Let's go front, and let's see if I can drag that cheek down and out. Oh, still got edge on. Let's try that again. Draw you out and over. Not quite there, but we're getting there. Of course, I have to imagine what this is going to look like in 3D, and of course it never matches. Well, I'm moving two things at once, that's why. That's okay, though. Let's just do this one now. Get that cheekbone in there. Really exaggerated cheekbone in there. Alright, getting closer to what I want. Now, I think this needs to come in along with this one. This is why I work in low poly, because I would lose track of everything if this was too high poly. I know there are people who can model in really high poly like this, but I am not one of them. Let's go to this edge. Let's turn this edge. Just, oh, no, stop it. Stop it. There we go. Maybe I don't know. Oh yeah, that's the edge I need to turn. Lost it. Let's turn that edge just a little bit. Ooh, just a little bit. Anyway, no G, no G. We don't do copyrighted material. But it's so much fun. Okay, let's grab edge. Let's just move this along that edge there. Just kind of clean it up. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a cut. Just to give myself something to work with from here to there. There we go. Alrighty, let's go ahead and save what we've done. And save. Alright, I make the bottles, spend 9 months printing them. I started it. I am a woman with 3 boys, and you're not going anywhere. Uh-oh. I'm not going anywhere. Uh-oh. That sounds ominous. Ominous. N-n-n-n-n-n-ness. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, let's turn edge off, and let's drag this out. Again, I'm just kind of roughing out the silhouette. It's pretty much all I've been doing this whole time, but we're getting a lot closer. And it's going to look like crap until it just suddenly doesn't. It's really a weird thing to say, but it's so relevant. It's the same with painting miniatures. It's going to look like ass until it doesn't. Why is that one so high up? I don't need that one high up anymore. Bring this down. If anyone questions you, send them my way. There we go. You were the one that said you were going to go to a special place. Got it. Sometimes I forget what I say. I just say words. Words have meaning, Jeff. I just say stuff. All right. I think we're getting closer. Let me give me some more stuff to work with. And unfortunately, we're going to go to there with... Oh, no, we're not. I don't know what that was. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. Stop it. Cut. There. Now you are going to go from here to there. There we go. That is not what we're doing. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go from here. It helps if I pay attention. Why is that one freaky deaky? Okay, just want to make sure. Let's go back to cutting here to here, as we're still in the last, I don't know, 10 minutes of the live stream here. And we'll go from here. There's what I wanted to have happen. There's where we're going. Give me just a second, please. Alrighty, sorry, we're back. It's having a thing starting to fall over there I needed to fix. I was like, ah! Holy crap. It's been a day of up and down, up and down, up and down for me. Alrighty. Let's do front. Let's make sure everything's on a plane that I can work with here. Okay, see, this one got moved. So... we're not cutting anymore. Thank you very much. We are going to move. And I'm going to... is it X that I want to move it? Yes. Move that to 0. There we go. Just to make sure everything's where I want it. So, hey, we're getting closer. We're getting kind of the cheek going on here. I think I need to tuck whatever this is. I need to clean this mess up, that's for sure. And then I need to figure out how I want to attack those plates and get the shape that I want without it like messing up too much. Let's grab this. Oop, nope. No, let's do this along the edge. That way we don't change the format or the surface here. Let's bring that in. That's my eyebrow. I'm going to end up working with that at some point. You know, I think we can grab these and move them in just a little bit, because mesh smooth is great, but it's not a crutch. Okay, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh yeah, everyone's going to move differently. Okay, fine. Let's not grab you or you. Can we do that? Nope, you're going to still be weird on me. Okay, let's do that. Will you guys move the way I want you to? Yeah, that's what I want. Actually, those are probably the only ones that really need to move. So let's move this, turn this back to none. I want to grab this guy because it needs to, whoops, go up a little bit. And just kind of refine things. Yeah, I definitely want to define this a little bit more, but it's getting there. It is getting there. Let's go back up to the smooth. Let's turn this off. Let's see what that smooth looks like. Yeah, that's a mess, but we can address that. This is looking better. I think I need to define this edge of the eyebrow a little bit more. Oh yeah, we created some faces here that we need to give smoothing group so that Mesh Smooth knows what to do with them. For now. I don't think I'll be keeping them in that smoothing group, but for now. Oops. Start that off. See everything? And we are getting closer. Ooh, yeah. I wanted to find this cheek just a little bit more because it doesn't quite kick out as much as it does in the drawing. But what's in the drawing and what we're going to end up modeling will be slightly different. No idea, no drawing, no concept survives first contact with the real world. Period. The end. And I am of no delusions that I'm going to get this little guy perfect. But we're going to get him close. So for example, I have his nose right here, but I know that this is the bottom of a sphere, and his nose is going to be closer to up here. But for purposes of this demonstration, we're going to do this. Man, he looks like... I was the alien from American Dad. He just looks like an angry version of him right now. Won't help if I do this. Boop. Yep, now he is the alien. Roger. That's who I'm thinking of, Roger. His head shape is very Roger-esque. I mean, come on. I am going to have to move some vertices, though. These are too flat. These need to come out and over. There we go. Just a little too flat. There we are. Just add some more shape. And once we get this, the idea is that we're going to take this and we're going to mirror it, and we will make a we can make a copy for now. And this is where we're going to get both sides. So I need to make sure everything lines up, because I can tell already there's some issues here. Is this constant color? Let's do realistic for this, just for the moment. And that seam will go away once I weld it together, but we're on the right track, but it looks very much like I've got an Area 51 resident. I need to pull that out. Yeah, there's a lot of little tweaks, but as soon as I start adding tentacles in here, I really am hoping that this guy will start to come together. And we are about 7 minutes away from the end of the second hour of my longest live stream ever, including the time when the live stream didn't stop. It was just black screen, which was last week's. I shut down the live stream. It just kept going. Blame the 10-year-old computer. Couldn't get it to go away. It was really weird. Well, anyway, so this will give you guys a little bit of better idea of where I'm wanting to go. And we'll be cutting out the areas where the eyes are and doing those sunken glowing spheres. Wow, he is really further along than I thought he was going to go. See, it's just sometimes you start pushing and pulling, and then suddenly you're like light years from where you started. Again, we're going to end up rebuilding this area in here a little bit. We're going to have to sharpen the cheek, and we're going to have to move the point of the nose from here to here so we can get those tentacles. We also have the back of the head. I'm going to kind of flatten kind of the side of the skull, flatten in here on this, and get those cranial ridges, get his Klingon going on in here. Put those in there and define those. And I think once we get that, the nose and the cheeks defined, the head will be in a good place for us to start worrying about the tentacles and their placement. This is a 9 tentacle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. Yeah. Because he's a Kraken. So he has more. He is not an octopus. He's whatever 9 is. He is a Kraken. So that's why he has more than 8. So we are getting there. I am starting to get happier with him. He is moving along. He's going to be a very interesting companion. What will he look like when he's kind of the gold color? Apparently that color doesn't register. Alright. Let's try that again. What will he look like when he's the gold color? I have to do them separately because they're separate objects at the moment. Alright, so yeah, I like that brooding shadow that those are giving him. Any questions about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, or suggestions of what you would like to see more of? Please comment. I'm going to change this back to constant just so we have something to work with. And I like the blue better. Whoops, cancel. Just because it's easier on the camera and on my eyes. So here we are. He's coming along. Still got things to do to him, but we're getting closer. We're starting to get down to details. I think his silhouette is almost there. He looks a little too much like Roger for my liking, but I think once we do some of the details of the plates, get some of the sunkenness in his eyes, get that nose to come out and down a little bit more and give us room for all this massive tentacles, and I think we're going to be doing well. Heck, I might even build the background, because that's, by comparison, easy. The star will be easy. The jade getting all the broken, and it's going to be annoying, but can be done. And I think that'll be fun. Have them fully flushed out in 3D, and then once we're done with them, what do we do with them? What do we do with them? What do you do with a drunken kraken? What do you do with a drunken kraken? You don't do anything with the kraken. The kraken does you. You're lucky he won't eat you. You're really lucky he won't even know you're around. Anyway, so 2 minutes, 2-hour live stream. What did you guys think about that? Was that worth the time investment? I hear typing. Well, like I said, my art engine is fueled by caffeine. So if you want to help out the stream, by all means, go to buymeacoffee.com/chainreaction and you can fuel this insanity further. Also, you can see over here, I have all the different places that I'm streaming. We have Twitch, we have Facebook, we have YouTube. I believe I have a Twitter handle on there as well. There it is, Art by CRS, Chain Reaction Studios. If you want to know when I'm going live, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Art by Chain Reaction Studios, or Art by CRS is one word. And you can be notified when I go live next time. Of course, I had a full start this morning. I hit the button a half hour too early. I was like, la 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 la, click, la la. Oh God, I'm live, click. I had to go through and delete everything. I was like, have 3 platforms to go find it on now. But I'm very appreciative of all of you coming in, encouraging me. I really do appreciate the encouragement. Supporting me, even by saying hi, means so much to me during these live streams. Having new people pop in is always fun. I just want you guys to remember something, that you are loved. You are worthy of that love. And you are deserving of that love. You are important. The world out there is rough enough. Don't beat yourself up. It'll do it for you. If you don't love yourself, you can't love those that you do well. You can do it so much better when you love yourself. So, until next week, I guess we're going to go to 2-hour schedule. Thank you all for stopping by. Like, share, click the little bell so you're notified, and